يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Well, my life story or my history is simple. I was born on 31st December 1956 in Gombe. Attended Central Primary School, Gombe, from 1963 to 1970, and then that time it used to be class 7. I then got admission into the then provincial government secondary school, Yola, in 1971, where I stayed for 5 years. June 1975, we completed our secondary school and then gained admission into the then Northeast College of Arts and Science, NECAS, in Maiduguri. I stayed in Maiduguri for 2 years, where I wrote my A-level exams. That was the IJMB, as it was called. And by 1977, October or thereabout, I gained admission into Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria to read medicine or MBBS. I was in Zaria until 1983, when I graduated with MBBS and moved to Bauchi, our home state, where I did my housemanship for 1 year, June 1983 to July 1984, and after that time I was called for the National Youth Service, for which I was posted to Plateau State. I served in Shandam General Hospital and then returned after the NYSC to Bauchi. That time, with very little or no protocol, upon resumption, we were just posted. I was initially posted to Azare General Hospital, but after a short while, I was posted to Kaltungo General Hospital, where I spent about a year plus. Then I was posted to General Hospital Bajuga, where I again stayed from 1987 to 1988. I was moved to Shira General Hospital, where I was the pioneer medical officer. But I didn't spend quite a year when I was posted back to Gombe General Hospital as the medical officer in charge. I was in Gombe General Hospital until I gained admission for a master's degree in the United Kingdom. That was in 1990. 1994 or so. I spent a year in the UK after my master's degree in Leeds, UK. I returned to Gombe, and after about 6 months in my last station, which was General Hospital Gombe, I was posted to the then Bauchi Specialist Hospital as the sole administrator. I was there until the creation of Gombe State in 1996. Although the hospital was upgraded and granted autonomy, in which time my boss and teacher and mentor in surgery, Garba, was the medical director, and I was deputizing for him. So on the creation of Gombe State, we moved to Gombe, and we were privileged to be the pioneer Ministry of Health staff in Gombe State. I started first as Director Hospital Services, and then after about a year plus, I was moved to the Department of Primary Health Care and Disease Control. That time it was one department, where I was director until I was appointed permanent secretary in 2003. 2004, 1 year after my appointment as permanent secretary, I had the privilege of nomination to attend the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru, where I stayed for 1 year and became a member of the National Institute, or what is commonly called MNI. I came back and I was in the Ministry of Health initially, but later posted to the Ministry of Education, where I spent 5 years in the Ministry of Education as permanent secretary, and then posted back to the Ministry of Health. But after less than a year, I was posted to a new ministry that was created, which was the Ministry for Metropolitan. I understand the ministry has been merged now with another ministry. So I also spent about a year or so before I was moved to the last ministry I served, which was the Ministry of Finance. I stayed for about a year and a half before my retirement in December 2016. After that, I had stayed. One thing I continued to do wherever I was clinical practice. Although I was permanent secretary for about 13 years, during that time I had not abandoned clinical practice. Wherever I was, I continued to practice in the State Specialist Hospital. And even after my retirement, I continued to volunteer time in that hospital until the commencement of the hospital I presently work in, which is Harjas Memorial Hospital, where I have been here for just over 2 years now. So, well, this has been my life history. I currently I'm currently the medical director of the Harjas Memorial Hospital.
يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن